This is Renee's story, a young grandma. Her story is one of keto plus intermittent fasting transformation story. Before Renee lost weight, she thought her best years were over. Renee had always believed that gaining weight after menopause was just part of life. She used to joke with her friends that it was the price of getting older. But deep down, she wasn't laughing. Her knees ached when she climbed stairs. Her clothes felt tighter every month, and she had quietly stopped doing the one thing that once made her feel alive, dancing. At 62, living in sunny Tampa, Florida, Renee felt like she was fading away. She was a retired elementary school teacher who had spent 3 decades caring for others, students, her own kids, and now her grandkids. She loved being Grandma Renee, baking cookies with little Olivia and Carter, volunteering at church, and chatting with her daughter Melissa every evening. But she didn't love what she saw in the mirror. When she stepped on the scale one morning and saw the number 212 pounds, she sighed and whispered, "How did I let this happen?" Her doctor told her that she was bordering on diabetes and needed to watch her blood pressure. She nodded politely, but drove home feeling defeated. That night, she stood in front of her bedroom mirror and saw someone she didn't recognize. Her face was rounder, her body much heavier, and her energy almost gone. She missed her old self, the teacher who could dance for hours on the weekend, the woman who loved dressing up, the one who felt confident. The gift that changed everything. One Saturday morning, her daughter stopped by holding a book. "Mom," she said, "you've got to read this. It's called The Obesity Code by Dr. Jason Fung." Renee smiled politely. "Oh, honey, I've tried everything. Low-fat, low-calorie cabbage soup, you name it. I'm too old for another diet." Melissa laughed. "It's not a diet, Mom. It's about hormones, not willpower. It's about how to work with your body instead of fighting it." That evening, Renee sat down with a cup of tea and started reading. Within minutes, she was fascinated. The book explained how insulin resistance makes it almost impossible to lose weight when you're constantly snacking or eating sugar. It wasn't about calories, it was about when you eat. For years, Renee had been told to eat small meals every few hours. Now she learned that every bite was keeping her insulin high and her body locked in fat storage mode. She stayed up late reading and whispered to herself, "Maybe this is what I've been missing." By the next morning, she had made a decision. She would try keto and intermittent fasting, the way Dr. Fung described it. Starting the journey, Renee began by cleaning out her kitchen. Out went the cereal, crackers, and bread. She even gave her cookie jar to her neighbor. In their place, she filled her fridge with eggs, avocados, butter, spinach, chicken, and salmon. She started with the 16-8 method of fasting, 16 hours without food, 8 hours to eat. She skipped breakfast, had coffee with a splash of cream, and waited until noon to have her first meal. The first few days were hard. She missed her morning toast and felt hungry around 10 o'clock, but she drank more water and pushed through. By day 4, something surprising happened. Her hunger faded. Her energy rose. She no longer needed an afternoon nap. For the first time in years, she felt in control of her appetite. Renee kept her meals simple, such as eggs and avocado for her first meal, and baked salmon with broccoli for dinner. She cooked with olive oil and butter and stopped worrying about fat. When her friends warned, "You can't eat that much fat, you'll raise your cholesterol," she just smiled. She knew something was working. Small wins and big motivation. By the end of the first month, Renee had lost 10 pounds. Her fat jeans zipped up easily again. Her knees didn't ache as much. And when she walked into church, a friend whispered, "You look different. What are you doing?" That comment fueled her. She started walking around her neighborhood every evening. It wasn't a strict workout routine, just movement, fresh air, and chatting with neighbors. She learned to say no politely to sugar. When there was cake after Bible study, she said, "No thank you," and didn't feel deprived. She brought her own snacks, nuts or cheese sticks, and smiled knowing she was taking care of herself. Her daughter noticed her glow and said, "Mom, You seem so happy. Renee replied, I finally understand my body. The hard days. Not every day was perfect. There were moments she almost gave up. Family dinners were tough. Her sister teased her for skipping bread, and her son-in-law joked, You'll faint one of these days. But Renee reminded herself why she started. She wanted to dance again. She wanted to play with her grandkids without pain. She wanted to live long enough to see them graduate. On difficult days, she reread chapters from the Obesity Code. She reminded herself that every fast helped lower insulin, every clean meal helped heal her metabolism, and every good choice brought her closer to freedom. By the third month, she had lost 22 pounds. Her doctor was amazed. Her blood sugar had improved, and she was officially off one of her blood pressure pills. Whatever you're doing, he said, keep doing it. Back to the dance floor. Around that time, Melissa signed her up for salsa class. Mom, it's time, she said with a grin. You used to love dancing. Renee laughed. I can't dance with these knees. But her daughter insisted. That Wednesday night, she walked into the community center, nervous but excited. When the music started, her body remembered the rhythm. She smiled as she turned, stepped, and twirled. The music felt like magic. After class, she was breathless but beaming. I haven't felt this good in 20 years, she said to her instructor. From that night on, salsa became her new weekly joy. What Renee eats in a day people began asking what she ate, so Renee started sharing her simple routine. She broke her fast at noon with scrambled eggs, cheese, and spinach, sometimes adding bacon or avocado. In the afternoon, if she was hungry, she had a handful of almonds or a slice of cheese. Dinner was usually salmon or chicken with vegetables and olive oil. If she wanted dessert, she made sugar-free chocolate pudding or a keto cheesecake. She got the recipes on YouTube. She never ate after 7 p.m. The kitchen closes at 7, she'd laugh. Every Sunday, she did a 24-hour fast, drinking tea and bone broth. She called it her reset day. Why it worked. Renee understood that keto and fasting worked because they fixed the real problem, insulin resistance. Every time she went without food, her insulin dropped, and her body started burning stored fat for energy. When she ate low-carb meals, she kept insulin levels low all day long. She often said, I used to eat 6 times a day and was always hungry. Now I eat twice and feel full. The results were more than just physical. Her mood improved, her sleep deepened, and she woke up eager to start the day. 12 months later, a year after she began her journey, Renee stepped on the scale and smiled. 152 pounds. She had lost 60 pounds exactly. Her doctor said her numbers were better than they'd been in a decade. Her blood sugar was normal, her cholesterol balanced, and her blood pressure perfect. She no longer needed medication. To celebrate, she bought a bright red dress, the kind she used to wear when she was younger, and wore it to the end-of-term salsa class. As she spun across the floor, she thought, I got my life back. That night, during a family dinner, she raised her glass and said, To new beginnings. I thought life was slowing down, but it turns out I was just getting started. Her daughter had tears in her eyes, and her grandkids clapped. Renee's tips for success. Over time, Renee became known as the Keto Grandma. Women from her church and neighborhood started asking for advice, so she began sharing her favorite lessons. 1. Don't fear fat, fear sugar. Healthy fats keep you full and steady your hormones. Sugar causes cravings and crashes. 2. Start slow with fasting. Begin with 12 hours, mostly when you are asleep. Then build up to 16. It gets easier. 3. Drink water often. Hydration keeps energy steady and helps during fasting. 4. Eat meals you love. Keto food can be delicious, make it enjoyable, not restrictive. 5. Remember your reason. Renee's was dancing again. Everyone needs their why. A changed mind and spirit. The most amazing change wasn't just her body, it was her spirit. Renee no longer saw herself as too old. She started believing in her strength again. She laughed more, slept better, and felt proud of herself. At church, someone whispered, "You look beautiful. What's your secret?" Renee smiled. "I stopped feeding my body junk, and I started feeding it what it needs." She realized that aging didn't have to mean slowing down. It could mean getting wiser, lighter, and stronger, inside and out. The ripple effect. Her transformation inspired her whole family. Her daughter began fasting too. Her son-in-law stopped drinking soda. Even her grandkids started helping in the kitchen, making keto muffins and cauliflower pizza. Special dinners looked different now, more vegetables, fewer carbs, and plenty of laughter. Renee didn't preach, she simply led by example. Renee was the grandma who got back in the groove. Now, every Wednesday night, Renee drives to her salsa class, sometimes, wearing her red dress and silver shoes. When the music starts, she glides across the floor, full of confidence and joy. Her dance partner often teases, "Renee, you've got more energy than anyone here." She laughs and merely says, "Thank you." She proved that it's never too late to start over, never too late to take back your health, and never too late to fall in love with life again. Renee's message to every woman. This is what she'd say. You are not broken. You are not too old. You just need to give your body a chance to heal. Keto and fasting gave me my life back, and they can do the same for you. Start small, be patient, and don't ever stop believing in yourself. Renee thought her best years were behind her. Now, at 62, she's lighter, stronger, and happier than she's been in decades. Her story is proof that sometimes all it takes is one book, one decision, and one brave heart to say, "I'm not done yet." Leave your keto weight loss story or intermittent fasting story in the comments and subscribe for more inspiring stories.